Hello students, today we are going to study chapter 3 Mahavira and Buddha. So in this chapter we can see that in the 6th century BC there was a changes in the religion, that is religious revolution had taken place in various parts of the world. So in this time you can see there was a rise of great religious teachers, philosophers, and thinkers. So, their ideas made revolutionary changes in all aspects of life. So, new religions like Zoroaster in Persia, Confucius in China, so they preached new doctrines. When we see India also in the 6th century, there saw a great changes. Like about 62 religious groups were developed in Gangetic plains. Out of that, Jainism and Buddhism, it made a great impact on the Indian society. So we'll see what are the causes for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. So first you can see that the Aryan religion that became very difficult for the common people to understand. Next point is that for the prosperity in the field of agriculture and all, animal sacrifices was done. So some of the people, they were against to animal sacrifices and they were forced to do animal sacrifices here. Okay, so they did not liked that. So this is also another cause for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Next is that all the rituals had become very costly, like for example marriage ceremony, naming ceremony. So all these for all these things to perform the rituals, it became very costly. So the common people was not able to afford for that. Next you can see the magic, charms, spells, or like black magics and all. It became very popular and it started to dominate the religious practices. Then Sanskrit language of Vedic text, it was not able to understand for the common people, and even the common people, they did not had the right or permission to read shastras. Next very important thing is that caste system. So in the Vedic period you have studied that the society was divided according to the occupations. So now this division of the society, it became very rigid. Okay, that is higher, upper class and lower caste. So in that, in the Hindus, they ill-treated the Shudras very badly. So the caste system, it played a very important role here. So this caste-ridden, ritual-ridden Aryan society, so this showed the signs of decline in social and religion here. So in this time you can see there was a rise of new religion came, that is Jainism and Buddhism. So first we'll see about Jainism. So in Jainism, Vardhaman Mahavira was the founder of Jainism and he was the 24th Tirthankara. So before him there were 23 Tirthankaras were there. Next we'll see about the life of Mahavira. So Vardhaman Mahavira, he was born at Kundala Grama near Vaishali in Bihar in about 540 BC. And his father was Siddhartha and he was a chief of Jatrika clan of Kshatriyas. and his mother was Trishala. She belonged to a powerful Lichavi tribe. So Mahavira, at the age of 30, he gave up all the comforts of his life, everything, and he left his palace in search of truth. So, why did he leave his palace? He left the palace in search of truth here. So, after leaving the palace, he started to wander for 12 years. And in that 12 years, he did a very hard penance and meditation. And finally, at the age of 42, he gained the true knowledge. He will get all the knowledge for all his questions. He will get the answers at the age of 42. So that time he came to be known as Master of Kevalajnanan, that is true knowledge. So here Vardhaman is also given the name as Mahavira, that is the great hero. So why he was given the name great hero? Because he had saved his colleagues from so many dangers. So that's why he got the name Mahavira. Next you can see he also hailed as a Jina. Jina means conqueror of the self. So the followers were called as Jains. Finally, Mahavira he died in Pava in South Bihar at the age of 72. So when his fame had spread far and wide, so after his death only Jainism started to become famous here. Next we'll see about the teachings of Mahavira. So in teachings of Mahavira, it is divided into two parts. One is three jewels. So Mahavira says that a man, in order to attain salvation or moksha means freedom from the cycle of life and death. Otherwise, what will happen after a person dies? He will again take birth. So this life and death, it is like a cycle. Okay. So after a death, he will again take a rebirth. So in order to stop the cycle of life and death, one has to attain moksha. So if he wants to attain moksha, then that person has to follow these three jewels, or it is also called Tri-Ratnas. So in three jewels you can see right faith, right knowledge and right conduct is there. After that he gave importance to 5 vows here, or 5 promises. So Mahavira gave 5 promises, or 5 vows are: not to injure life, not to steal, not to tell lie, not to own property, not to lead an impure life. Means our life should be pure, character should be pure. Okay, so these are the 5 vows. Next we'll see about the spread of Jainism here. So Jainism, it spreaded towards Rajasthan, Western India, Bengal and Central India. So many people in India, they became the followers of Jainism, and at the time of Mahavira's death, there were like 14,000 disciples were there. Later on you can see some of the kings also, they converted themselves into Jainism, and they made Jainism as their state religion also. So Jain art and literature, it flourished under their patronage. So some of the kings, they used to give money to money in order to develop this Jain art and literature. There are many Jain temples in India. So for that best example you can see the Dilwara temple at Mount Abu. You can see very beautiful art and architecture of Dilwara temple. So it is in Mount Abu, Rajasthan. Next you can see Palitana temple at Satrudnya Hills, Gujarat. It is also very famous. And the Jains religious books were Angas and Purvas. Religious books of Jains are Angas and Purvas. So here after the death of Mahavira, his followers, they divided Jainism into two sects, that is Shwetambaras and Digambaras. Shweta means white here. So Shwetambaras, they wore white clothes, whereas Digambaras, they did not wear clothes and they led a life of self torture. Okay, torture and very hard life they spent. So though Jainism, it did not become so popular as Buddhism here. So when we compare Buddhism and Jainism, Jainism did not become so popular as Buddhism here. Okay. So yet it survives to this day with millions of followers in different parts of India and the world. But still you can see there are followers of Jainism in India as well as in the world also. So children, I hope this topic is clear to you all. Thank you. Have a nice day.